And hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Friday, December 27th at 10:26 p.m. on this Friday night. We had, what did we have? Double overtime?
Yeah, double
that-
overtime.
Is that what was going on?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it was.
I thought so. So, from some exciting things going on in the world of basketball, and we're on a little bit later tonight, but that's okay. We're going to get into the movie Chronicle, and I've never seen this movie before this time. I thought that I had, but I was wrong. I hadn't seen this before. So,
There's a couple movies out there I believe it's like got that name to it, the Chronicle or something like that to it. Seems
Yeah.
Because whenever I first looked it up, last week, just looking at things for us to watch coming up. That was when I was looking up. Whenever I looked it up, it took me a couple tries because it took me to a couple other movies.
It
Right.
did me too, man. It took me to some movie called like the Chronicle of Riddick.
Oh, Chronicles of Riddick.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick, Vin Diesel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember Pitch Black, Jeremiah?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the Chronicles
One of the
Riddick movies.
Chronicle movies.
Yeah. So, before we get into the show, please go to all the social media. That's the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, The Other People Show. And I think David has a good microphone tonight.
Oh yeah.
I've noticed in the past, we've not been able to hear sometimes what David says. And I'm like, what? What did he say? But it should be fine tonight. But the director is by a director named Josh Trank. And he had made a couple of short films before Chronicle.
Yeah.
But that was his breakout film in 2012. He directed a version of the Fantastic Four in 2015.
Which also had Michael B. Jordan in it.
Yes. And did you all watch that one?
Yeah.
I have not watched it, no.
I watched it. It was pretty good.
Okay. Because the reason I ask is that the director publicly trashed Fantastic Four on his Twitter
Yeah.
account before it came out. So therefore the movie didn't do very well. And as you can tell from his IMDb, or from the sheet, that he's only directed one movie since then.
Yeah.
So I think the disagreement he had with the studio over Fantastic Four has kind of derailed
It did.
his career a little bit. So hopefully he can get back on track, because Chronicle was a fantastic feature film debut.
It was.
Yeah.
I really
definitely.
thought so.
Really great movie. I remember whenever I first watched it, I watched it on demand on Xfinity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that this there was a movie called Skyline, and the poster of the movie Skyline looked very similar to this movie. So that's the movie that I thought this was. But I rewatched the movie trailer the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I've not seen this."
They are very similar.
You know what I'm talking about?
Very similar.
And they came out around, I think Skyline came out in like 2011. This was 2012. And this had a cast of people that I'd seen a few of the people there in the movie, but other than Michael B. Jordan, I didn't really know anyone else's name.
no,
It's got Dane
not big
DeHaan as Andrew, Alex
Yeah.
Russell as Matt, Michael B. Jordan as Steve, Michael Kelly as Richard, and Ashley Henshaw as Casey. And did you all know any, besides Michael B. Jordan, did you all
No.
know any of the cast?
Never
No,
even seen
not
any
really.
of them before.
But to be quite honest with you, I really liked Dane DeHaan as an actor.
He was a great
and,
actor,
Yeah,
man.
and it
He
really
was.
confuses me why he didn't. Because I think I went back and looked at his, his filmography and cinematography. I don't think he really did much after this.
I'm trying to think, because I'd seen he's got a very unique look. And I think that I've seen him, in certain shots, I thought that he looked like a young Leonardo DiCaprio at certain points.
Yeah,
yeah, I could
kind of
see
like
that.
from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah, exactly. And then, looking at his filmography,
Oh, that's right. He was the Green Goblin Spider-Man.
that's right.
Pretty sure.
The Amazing
Oh,
Spider-Man
yeah,
number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's been in. He was in the movie that came out last year, Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Let's see, a movie called A Cure for Wellness. I've heard of that one. Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's in a movie called The Place Beyond the Pines. Lincoln, Lawless, Jack and Diane, Chronicle. So he has done a few things, but I think he's going to be more of like a a character actor, people that has like a long
Yeah.
career,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I've seen this guy's
He's
face.
got this movie in 2013 called Kill Your Darlings he did with Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I see that. He's the second lead also in that movie, so he's on the poster. So yeah, so he's done a couple of things, and then Michael B. Jordan, he went ahead and did the Fantastic Four, and then the Creed movies, and what else is Black Panther, is he in part two?
Yeah,
He's
The
in
first
Black-
one or just the
Black
second
Panther
one?
movie.
I think he's in both of them.
Let's
Okay,
see here. He's in the first one
I've never watched the second one.
and the second one.
I don't
Wakanda
think I have
Forever.
either, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him in the previews
Okay.
of the second.
Yeah, he's in the first and the second one.
And then most of the other cast I've never really seen
Yeah.
in any other movie. So director Josh Trank made Dane, Michael, and Alex live in a house together for 15 days in order to create a genuine bond between
Yeah.
the three actors. And I thought that, it paid off well.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
definitely. Yeah.
Because especially even in the movie preview, you can watch it and be like, it looks like, it'd be like if us three were hanging out or
Just-
something.
yeah,
Just normal
just-
conversation.
Yeah.
Hanging out, doing silly stuff. And it seemed like they were like really
Yeah.
friends.
Everyday life, man.
Yeah.
You just get used to having that camera in front of your face, and it's like everybody slowly gets used to having that camera because all three of them use it.
Yes, and the girl does
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, she has her own camera.
Right.
She's into filming too.
Right, kind
But
of like
she's
what's,
got like a picture camera. I don't think she has one that can actually like record. I think she only takes pictures.
photos.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is pretty interesting because we have a category for this, but other than and I made sure to listen to this. Other than one song in the movie, there's no score in the movie. There's only one song in the movie, and the only score is like radios and just like little sound effects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really put like an intimate twist on just like really
It
being involved in their lives instead of it, putting like these artificial like emotions into it.
Yeah.
And
By
I mean,
playing music.
it gives the movie its own originality, I guess you
And
would
identity.
say, because it's
Its
like
own essence
you know
of
at
life.
the music in this, most of the music in this, I doubt you would ever hear it in any other movie.
And
It's
you know-
made specifically
And see, the thing
for
is,
this movie.
the camera you see him using is not like just your typical run of the mill camera. It's a really
Yeah.
good camera. It's older,
The
but it's still a
second
good
one,
camera.
yeah.
So like, it's that it gives that feel of like really good film, like home movie.
Yeah.
it
The
does.
home movie quality. Yeah, I think so too. In the original story, it would have the trio becoming psychopaths because of their powers, but it was soon changed as it was too dark and also would not really make sense to the plot.
So they all kind of switched places, man. It was weird. Like Andrew, he was the shy guy, didn't want to get out and do anything. They had that talent show, and who was it? Steve. Yeah, Steve
yeah,
invites him to come and do this talent show with him in front of the whole school. He does it, and then he becomes popular. Steve kind of starts becoming unpopular, and at the beginning of the movie, Andrew,
Hey,
he
Brooke.
was the one that was trying to cool everybody down.
Right.
Definitely.
Then it ends up being Matt
right.
that's trying to cool everybody down, and that right there is the only
So
reason he's the only
it
one
kind
that
of does have, because at first you would think
survived.
Matt
They
was
all-
kind of like, Matt was actually super intelligent as well. Just
Exactly.
some of the
Yeah.
things. And Dane actually became super intelligent with the powers.
Yeah,
Because he learned it quicker.
Yeah.
because he was smarter.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say smarter. I think it's just the fact that he just had a bunch of mental strain on him already, anyways,
Yeah.
and dealing with all that with his dying mother and his father being an abusive drunk.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And he had, what else really did he have? Because really until
Nothing.
Steve and Matt came around, it didn't seem like Andrew had any friends.
Anyone. And then he even said that in the movie. He was like, he's complaining to him like, you never liked me before all this happened. And I think
Yeah,
he
just
just
before he
he
killed
kept
somebody.
bottling that anger up and that energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
I think
and
so too.
In this case, and he just let it all out at one time. And
Yeah.
Hey, Stacy. Now, it was saying that some of the research I did that this Chronicle was originally meant to be a hard R-rated or an NC-17 rating movie, but there were fears that it would lose audiences. And I bet it was looking to be an R-rated movie back when they thought, well, let's make this about three psychopaths.
Yeah.
Because you could see the dark way that it would go. Because it went dark anyway, but the dark way it would have went if all three of them.
If all three of them did.
Because
yeah,
who
it
could
could've
stop
been
them,
chaos.
really?
Yeah, nobody. I
No,
mean,
unless
who's going
somebody
to?
else was introduced, nobody else would be able to stop them. Hey, Hunter. So the budget of this movie was a $10 million budget, which was a very low budget considering how good
all
the movie
the
looked.
special effects. I mean, it's special effects through the whole movie,
Yes,
basically.
yes.
That takes a lot of money.
I mean, one instance that you can tell that it's sort of low budget is like the flying.
Some
scenes.
of the
You can tell
flying
they're definitely in a
scenes.
harness.
Yes.
Just with
Because
like
the way
a
it's
green,
holding them, like
green wall
it's
behind
like
you.
it's way it's like picking them up and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. But other than that, I thought, they did a good job.
Okay.
Now, this movie made $64 million in America, 126
Shoot.
worldwide. So this was a very profitable
That's-
movie.
yeah.
It had a Rotten Tomatoes score, and I didn't realize
That
it was
is
this high,
high.
85%.
Wow.
Audience score 72, and IMDb at 7.0. So
And it really is. It's a good movie. It has those moments where you're like, it just pulls you in. And like, even if there was a music score, it's like you wouldn't really be able to pay attention because you're just so drawn into like all the action and
Exactly,
the story.
and the movie goes by.
Very suspenseful.
I think the movie goes by quickly.
it does.
It's very fast paced. Now
does,
it's an
man.
hour and 26 minutes, but when I was watching it last night, it went by so fast. There was
Seemed
like
like
it
no
didn't
time.
have a slow point at all. I didn't
No.
think.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
Like literally,
No.
it starts out with it shows
Hey,
you like
Gregory.
Andrew. He's just bought the camera. He's recording his dad beating on his doors, saying, "Let me in."
Yeah.
like
I'm
right
gonna
away,
start recording
right away
everything.
you sympathize
Yeah.
with Andrew because
Of course.
he's about the only one you really see his home life because he
Yeah.
has the camera.
Yep.
His mother's dying. She's in constant pain. Does it ever say what she really has?
No, I don't believe so.
I know she had some type of cancer,
Okay.
but I don't know. I know she ended up whenever Dad came into the hospital and was about ready to punch him, and dude grabs him, and they said a bomb went off and all that.
Yeah.
Right before that, the mom you heard her coughing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was on a phone call with his dad or what. I can't remember really, but you could hear Mom coughing in the background, begging for help.
Yeah.
And he tried to come in there and blame it on his son, but really it was his fault. He was in the house with her. He heard her crying and pleading for help, but instead all he wanted to do was go to the hospital and get revenge on his son.
Yeah.
I have a sort of dark theory, like how he came in and told Andrew that his mother's dead. I honestly think that he may have finished her off himself.
I think that too. No, before we
It
continue,
never said that, but that is a very good point, dude. That is a
we want to
very
give a
good
shout out
point.
to Gregory because he said he's here because Jeremiah said if he didn't, he would be a loser. So he showed up.
Oh yeah, I posted on Facebook
So-
when we went live.
Okay, cool, very
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you, Gregory.
So yeah,
You're
thank
awesome,
you, Gregory.
bro.
Please like and share. Thank you for joining. Please do that. So yeah, let's dive into a little bit of the plot and the story. So you've got these, this outcast Andrew, and then you've got it seems like two popular kids, teenagers, and they find this crystal,
Yeah.
I guess.
Whatever it is, crystal structure,
It never even says
encasing an
what it
alien.
is.
No, it never really says what
No.
it is. And really, the way they end off the movie, I feel like they left off because it gives off cliffhanger.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Because like
Here comes second movie.
because like surely that wasn't the only structure
Mhm.
found creating people with telekinetic powers, and surely they could make a second movie where he finds other people and they're like,
Of course.
well, we got to figure out what this thing was and why it gave us these powers, and then
And it seems like
Figure out how
really,
to stop
like
it.
so the teens that go down and they see this kind of like crystal
Basically a
anomaly.
meteor.
Yeah, like a meteor basically.
Yeah.
They touch it, they're enamored by it, and then they start getting these telekinetic powers.
yeah, it's like
Mhm.
it gives a bunch of visual feedback and stuff like that whenever they start touching it and interacting with it.
And that's some of the sound effects too,
Yeah.
if you
Mhm.
listen closely. so after that happened, they pretty much learned that they can move cars, they can skip stones, they can move stuffed animals in like a toy store.
Yeah, they gain telekinetic powers,
Right.
so they can just
And then they slowly use these powers to do fun little goofy things,
little
and then
whimsical little
yeah.
non-harmful things.
Like they get the don't they blow like a leaf blower up somebody's skirt and like do
There was
it
three
first
of
started
them.
out they were like throwing a baseball at each other to see if they stop it before it like hit
hit them in the
or
face.
whatever. Yeah.
That was the first thing they did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew, he was
Hey,
like,
Amber.
"You've got to get this on tape." Andrew was the first one that like stopped it, and that's when you knew right there that he was going to be the apex.
Yes.
Like you said, I'm the apex predator.
And then he crushes the car.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Like a
slowly
pop
but
can.
surely they start doing these things. Then they're driving. This is like a found footage kind of movie.
it
By
is.
the way, I don't think we've said that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of getting, somebody's on their bumper, honking the horn, getting real
Yeah.
close when it's raining, and then Andrew just kind of waves his hand,
throws him off the road.
throws him off the road, and the guy ends
Yeah,
up.
that's whenever you knew that Andrew wasn't going to be too stable with his powers
Yes.
because he knew what was going to happen. He already had it planned out in his head.
Yes.
What he wanted to happen, and he's like, "Here, take this." Watch this, and he's like laughing about it.
Yep.
So and it's whenever the first moment you get that he's going to be unstable.
Yes.
Because,
That's how all
Matt's
their
even
powers
asked him,
work is just mind.
Yeah,
It's
and then
all
you
mind
realize,
control, man.
that Andrew is able to do things quicker
Yeah.
than some of the others because he
Yep.
builds that little Lego or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah, he puts
He
that
really
Lego
does,
on the
yeah.
tower, and then that dude gets Matt, and he was like, whatever.
Tears it
like,
down.
knocks it down.
Subtle
knocks it down.
foreshadowing, because that's
But he-
right at the
yeah.
that's actually the same tower that you see in their fight scene.
Dude
Yes.
couldn't
movie.
even put like two Legos
And in the
together.
poster, I think that tower's in one of the posters.
Yeah.
In the background
Yeah,
as well.
it is.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much it gets to the point now. How many times had you all seen this before?
One time.
Just one time,
I've
one
seen it a
time
few
a couple
times.
times. Now I knew. Unfortunately, I kind of knew that Andrew would be the one.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think if I didn't go in knowing, when would I think that I think I would know right away. Well, not right away, but as soon as he starts doing the things quicker
Yeah.
than everyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And
You
he
knew
You
he
has
was
that.
smart.
assume that's going to be Matt to be the bad one, and Steve and Andrew are going to have to stop Matt.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I also started thinking, well, Andrew is the one that has the
Abusive
he's getting beat up at school,
Yep.
And
He
getting
had-
beat on by his father.
getting beat on and harassed
You
by
don't
his
get
father.
a break, dude, at all.
His mother's laying in bed dying, and
Yep.
not only that, his father accuses him of taking in his money so he could buy the camera.
Yeah.
When that didn't happen at all.
No.
And so Andrew, nothing in his life is going good. So I kind of got the feeling that he was going to use some of these powers to seek revenge
Exactly.
on some of these people, and he did.
That's the whole reason that his mom died. This is my theory on his mom dying. His dad was more worried about getting revenge on him because he grabbed him and threw him against the wall and then threw him down in the floor like he was a rag doll, man.
Yeah.
And he was more worried about getting revenge than trying to save his own wife.
Right.
And he comes to the hospital to try to pretty much beat dude to death while he's in a coma.
Yeah.
And as soon as he
He
goes to
says,
try to
he's like, "I
swing,
want you to
dude catches
apologize
his
to me."
arm and boom.
He's sitting there telling Andrew,
Yeah.
he's like, "I want you to apologize to him." He's like,
Yeah,
he's like,
I
"I know
don't
you're
need to
awake." He's like, "I want
apologize
you to
to you.
wake up," and he's like, "I want you to get up, sit up right now, and apologize." And then he goes to punch him, and that's when he catches
Yeah.
his hand and blows.
He
a
was
hole
like,
in
"I
the wall.
know you can hear me. It's your fault. Your mom's dead."
And see that
Like,
also
that's-
made me, and maybe you all as well, sympathize with
Oh, yeah.
with Andrew.
Oh,
Because,
for a minute I did until he said that it's your fault that your mom died. That was when I was like, okay, yeah, he's just being typical,
yeah.
his typical self.
So I was actually on Andrew's side when he took out
Yeah.
his dad. Well, I mean, I guess his dad was actually saved.
Yeah,
Because he
by
dropped
Matt.
him, and then
Yeah.
Matt got him. But I wouldn't have been upset had the dad not survived.
I
gotta be
wouldn't
honest.
have either. That's
'Cause it-
been fine by me.
Me too. And Andrew in school, he rips that guy's teeth out.
Yep.
Yep.
He said he
talked about
didn't
the
get
different-
2 of them clean. He got that one by the
Because he
root
got it.
because he didn't get it by the middle.
Yeah, he said
break it.
Yeah, he said he got those 2. He said
Can
he
you
got
imagine
those 2.
just that
you know,
being
weren't
like a
clean.
bully, and that's your
Well,
that's what happens to
that's
you?
what you get.
You're just walking in the
Don't
hall and
be
you
a
turn
bully.
around, next thing you know, teeth fly out of your mouth.
Yeah, like what would you think?
From no physical force.
Yeah, like you wouldn't know that he did it.
No, I
Like-
mean you wouldn't know that anybody did it. You've just got three less teeth now.
It'd be like a ghost that just like pretty much just pulls teeth out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, did you all have a favorite character in this movie?
My favorite character, by the end of the movie, would have to be Matt.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. That's really where it goes, because like he's very philosophical.
He
Yeah,
is.
he
And
is.
A lot of the conversations he has with
Casey.
just the camera.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
talking
and the
about it.
camera too.
I mean,
yeah.
that's literally the first conversation him and Andrew have on their way to school. Like at the beginning of the movie, you know, they start talking about some philosopher,
Yeah.
Schopenhauer.
Schopenhauer. That's yeah.
Yeah.
How
No.
did you remember?
Gregory's saying also that that the guy that played Andrew Dane was in a movie called A Cure for Wellness. I thought that I'd seen his face. I've never seen that movie, but I had seen his face. Now, I was honestly surprised that Steve was taken out as
Quick.
yeah.
Yeah. I felt like he would have been the last person besides the way that I thought it was going to go. I figured that Andrew was going to get taken out. I mean, because he was, someone had to stop him. But
Yeah.
I figured Matt would get taken out first because he was the one trying to stop all this.
Right.
And that's usually how it goes. But Matt ends up, we all know now, it's been a long time since this movie's came out, so there ain't no spoiler. But Matt's the one that ends up stopping Andrew.
Now, if
I
Andrew,
figured Michael Jordan would have been the one to do that. Steve,
me too,
I
me
mean-
too. Now, what if Andrew had been able to drop his dad, kill his dad,
yeah.
and Matt didn't stop him? What do you think Andrew would have stopped the rampage? Or would he have continued on and
He
on?
would
I
have
think he would have
continued
just
because
continued.
cops would have
Yep.
intervened. They would have
Okay.
been doing stuff like shooting at him and whatnot.
That's all you can do. But he can
Yeah.
stop any of that. I
So
mean,
you
he's already
think
proven it.
because he escalated to that point, had he not been stopped, he would have been the military would have probably been after him and all
I
this
think
stuff.
he was already
Absolutely.
escalated too far whenever he unalived Steve.
So you think that he couldn't turn back? He was too far
Yeah.
gone at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it escalated very
Think
quickly
it
It did.
once he was in the hospital and his
Did.
dad came there.
After that explosion, yeah.
That was pretty much
That's
the
whenever
third
he
act right
turned
there.
around.
Steve,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you have a favorite scene?
My favorite scene, as bad as it sounds, is probably whenever Matt grabbed that spear from that statue and took,
Okay.
My favorite
took
scene
Andrew out.
is whenever they're in the air playing football.
Oh, that was cool.
That is a fun scene.
Touchdown.
Because I honestly didn't, when this movie was going on, I figured that they would fly around, but I didn't
Yeah.
figure that that's what they would do.
Yeah, passing football.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
Yeah, I don't know if I had a favorite scene. I liked the entire movie.
Yeah.
I
it
was
a
really
great
surprised how
It's very
good the
easy
movie
to
was.
Get
Yeah.
drawn into, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it was really quick and went by
Yeah.
fast.
An
There
hour
wasn't
and
much
23
score
minutes.
or music, but score and music wouldn't have really helped this movie.
No.
No, it didn't need
It's
one.
a found
didn't need
footage
nothing.
movie. You can't really
Exactly.
have
Background
score.
Kinda like
music.
Blair
yeah,
Witch
just
Project.
don't-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, the next
Hey,
movie
Kelly.
I want us to do next week is actually another like found footage movie. Also,
Okay, what's that one?
Project Almanac.
You know, I've not
It's-
seen that one.
It's a good movie, dude. It's
It's,
about
um,
like this one. It's
um,
there are a lot
The
of
basic plot of it is this kid, he goes into his father's basement one day and finds plans to a time machine and ends up making it with some friends, and they go just get into all sorts of shenanigans, and the main character, he's got a video camera that he's like recording it the entire time.
Okay. So originality. I thought this was a pretty original, because there's not been any other found footage super power type movies have there been?
Mm-mm.
No.
Not like that.
Like
no.
there's been like a lot of horror ones, Blair Witch
yeah.
and things like that. There was another one called like Apollo 18, I think. That was a found footage one.
The space movie.
Yeah, and then I think there was one like a shark one,
Yeah.
maybe. But as far as like a super power one, this is the only one that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know any more like it.
And what about the poster? I thought if you don't know what this movie
I
is and you see the poster, I don't think the poster tells you what the movie is. I think it
No.
makes you intrigued. There's these
Definitely.
three
It's,
guys standing at the top of the building. I think they're in Seattle because I think the other
Yeah,
Seattle
they're
Space
all like
Needle.
kind of
Almost
floating
like
off the
that,
side of the building.
Yeah,
I'm number
Yeah.
4 or Jumper.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the
Jumper,
bottom
that's
it just
it's
says,
a lot like the Jumper.
yeah, it is.
It's
It-
got
and
that.
it just says Chronicle. It says like Facebook and then Chronicle.
Yeah,
But it's very vague in marketing. If you didn't like, you wouldn't know. I didn't know this was kind of like it's not superhero, but superpowers. I didn't realize that before we started watching it. And would you recommend this movie? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. It's different. If you want to watch something that's not gonna bore you to death because it's been the same plot in every movie you've watched for the last 20 years, then yeah, watch this one, because that's a lot different than anything I've ever watched, man.
I think
And
so
I
too.
remember this from when it first came out, first time I watched it. It's I appreciate it a lot more now than I did back then, just because of originality.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it goes by really quick. I think the performances are good. I think having no score in there, it adds to the movie, and I think that it's a very original take on getting superpowers.
It is.
And it's fun. It's a fun movie, but it goes by quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very fast-paced movie, and an hour and 26
But
minutes.
it doesn't move like too fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the perfect pace.
It is.
Like, I don't think, I mean, sure, you could always add more, but, I wouldn't take
drag
out
it
anything.
out.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe Josh Trank can, maybe that can be his comeback, is making the
Second.
sequel
A
to
sequel.
this.
There we go,
Yeah.
dude.
Because there
Agreed.
is great potential for a sequel. So next week, we're going to be doing Project Almanac. So this year, this is the 83rd show of the year.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
And then
Almost
the other,
so we're going to do like a 100th episode of extravaganza, like
Yeah.
special. We're going to do
we'll
do
try to,
something.
we'll
Do
try to
something.
do something special.
We'll do
yeah.
something special.
But this will be the
Yeah,
last
we'll
real
see.
talk of 2024.
Oh man.
So
and then that's also why I wanted to do like Project Almanac for 2025, because where it's like time travel.
yeah.
Yep. There we go. dude.
Now, speaking, we'll talk about this a little bit. Next show, we'll talk about time travel. I think that might
Okay.
be something fun to get
Okay.
into. But I think it's been a good 2024.
Oh, it's been awesome.
Jeremiah joined this year. David's joined this year. And
Definitely the highlight of my year is joining the show.
well, that's cool.
Absolutely,
That's
mine
very
too,
cool.
David. I
That's very
agree.
cool. And we know Jeremiah's going to have. I know David's going to have a new show coming in 2025.
Yeah, I've got.
I don't know if Jeremiah's thought about it, but
Maybe a
you know.
sports show or something,
You
man.
know.
I don't know. I could do something else too.
You know.
Just
But yeah. So you want to start that?
I've got. I think I've got a title worked up, but I'm gonna get some more feedback. On
Okay.
it. But,
Hey, John.
It's basically going to be like an homage to like a catchphrase in an anime.
Okay. I'm excited to. I've been telling some people about it, and
I've been talking about it a lot.
yeah, I said I'm going to produce, basically, a anime show, and I don't really know a lot about anime, so therefore I'm not hosting at all. Now I'll be on when you want me to be on, but as far as hosting, that's it won't be me. It won't be me. So it's going to be fun. A lot of new things coming in the new year. And it's going to be a lot of movies we're going to start off the new year
Well, check
with.
it out. I've got Crunchyroll I can give you login to, so you can start checking out some of the stuff. Because I've got an essential breakdown of like how try to start the show, how have it going and stuff like that.
Right.
Because like as the weeks are going by, in between each day, between each show, I'd like to either be watching an anime I've never watched, or like just be kind of watching something, just kind of recap.
Now, what is cool over here now, and obviously the people at home can't see this, but whenever I go to the computer now, I guess where I've looked up anime stuff, like the very first thing that's popping up in my face.
Oh, on Google
right now said, it said or it went to page 2. It said the best anime characters. That's the very first thing that popped up. And then the second thing, 12 iconic anime that helped shape global pop culture.
Yeah.
So this is going to be fun. So thank you all
will.
for tuning in. We're going to do the other people's show in just a moment. And you all have a good night.
Yes, sir.